In the mysterious and theologically rich world of ancient texts, some books have been both disputed and banned. One such text is the Book of Enoch, believed to be written by the prophet Enoch long ago. Let's delve into the fascinating history of the Book of Enoch's ban and examine the theory that it reveals Jesus as having African ancestry. Join me as we explore the controversial claims of this banned book and its implications for the ethnicity of Jesus. To understand this passage, we need to consider its historical and theological significance. The Book of Enoch, a collection of Jewish texts predating Christianity, offers unique perspectives on religion, cosmology, and human nature. Despite its historical importance, the book was excluded from the Bible's canon. The claim that Jesus is of African descent, as suggested in the Book of Enoch, has sparked intense debate. Instead of getting entangled in the argument, it's crucial to approach this topic with wisdom and an open mind, seeking to understand the truth. Would you like to know more about the situation? The Book of Enoch's removal from the biblical canon resulted from a complex series of events. It was not included in the Hebrew Bible, which formed the basis of the Old Testament. Additionally, several religious leaders viewed the book's theological ideas as unorthodox and questioned its authenticity. While these reasons contributed to its rejection, many argue that the depiction of Jesus as having African ancestry was a significant factor in its exclusion. Throughout history, Jesus Christ has been depicted differently by various cultures. The common image is that of a white man with European features. However, the Book of Enoch suggests that Jesus had African ancestry. As a key figure in Jewish and Christian eschatology, the Book of Enoch describes Enoch's visions of the Son of Man. These chapters highlight the Son of Man's magnificent and just nature. In many passages, he is described as having black hair and dark skin, which some interpret as typical African features. This intriguing portrayal challenges conventional views and invites us to reconsider historical and cultural perceptions of Jesus. This text challenges the traditional depictions of Jesus. In the Book of Enoch, a celestial figure appears with features resembling those of African Americans. Considering the historical and geographical context of Jesus' life, it's likely he had physical traits reflecting his Middle Eastern and African heritage. The idea that Jesus' ethnicity might be clarified through the Book of Enoch is controversial, as its passages are open to various interpretations. While exploring different interpretations of religious texts is important, it's also crucial to remember that Jesus' teachings transcend ethnic boundaries. His message of love, compassion, and universal humanity is central to his teachings. The debate about Jesus' ethnicity and the role of the Book of Enoch in this discussion continues to be a subject of scholarly inquiry. This topic can be further illuminated by passages such as John 7:4, Acts 10:34-35, and Galatians 3:28. In John 7:4, Jesus advises against judging by superficial criteria, urging us to use good discernment. Acts 10:34-35 recounts a pivotal moment when the Jewish apostle Peter meets the devout Gentile Cornelius, realizing that God's acceptance transcends cultural and ethnic boundaries. In a world filled with theological mysteries, some ancient texts have been disputed and even banned. One such text is the Book of Enoch, purportedly written by the prophet Enoch in ancient times. This book offers intriguing insights into religion, cosmology, and human nature, even though it was excluded from the Bible's canon. The claim that Jesus is of African descent, as suggested by the Book of Enoch, has sparked intense debate. Approaching this topic with wisdom and judgment is crucial. Instead of getting caught up in the controversy, we should seek to understand the truth. The Book of Enoch's exclusion from the Bible involved a complex series of events, including its omission from the Hebrew Bible, which formed the basis of the Old Testament, and concerns about its theological beliefs and authenticity raised by several religious leaders. Would you like to learn more about this intriguing subject? The story of the Book of Enoch's removal from the biblical canon is a fascinating journey, reflecting the complexities of religious history and interpretation. While several factors contributed to the rejection of the book, many believe that depicting Jesus with African ancestry was a significant reason for its dismissal. Throughout history, different cultures have portrayed Jesus Christ in unique ways, with the general public often visualizing him as a white man with European features. In contrast, the Book of Enoch presents Jesus as having African traits, according to some interpretations. This ancient text, central to Jewish and Christian eschatology, recounts Enoch's visions of the Son of Man, describing him as magnificent, brilliant, and just. In many passages, the Son of Man is depicted with black hair and complexion, resembling typical African features. These descriptions challenge traditional portrayals of Jesus and suggest he may have had physical traits reflecting his Middle Eastern and African heritage. The idea that Jesus' ethnicity can be definitively proven through the Book of Enoch is controversial, as the passages are open to various interpretations. While it's important to explore different perspectives in religious texts, these descriptions should not be seen as a conclusive depiction of Jesus' race. Ultimately, Jesus' teachings of love, compassion, and the universality of humanity transcend ethnic lines. The debate over Jesus' ethnicity and the role of the Book of Enoch in this discussion continues to be a topic of scholarly inquiry. Insights from scriptures like John 7:24, Acts 10:34-35, and Galatians 3:28 offer valuable context. In John 7:24, Jesus advises not to judge by appearances, but to judge with right judgment, reminding us not to make assumptions based on looks. Acts 10:34-35 describes the moment when the Jewish apostle Peter meets the devout Gentile Cornelius and realizes that God's acceptance transcends racial and cultural boundaries. This highlights the importance of understanding religious texts in various ways, without drawing definitive conclusions about Jesus' ethnicity from the Book of Enoch, as its content is open to multiple interpretations. In conclusion, while exploring different interpretations of religious writings is essential, it's crucial to remember that Jesus' teachings emphasize love, compassion, and the unity of all humanity. For this reason, it's crucial to remember that Jesus' teachings are universal and inclusive, transcending race and ethnicity. His messages of love, compassion, and unity among all people stand at the core of his teachings. The ongoing debate about Jesus' ethnicity and the insights provided by the Book of Enoch continues to spark scholarly interest. 3 Bible passages, John 7:24, Acts 10:34-35, and Galatians 3:28, offer profound insights that can shape our understanding and practice of these teachings. In John 7:24, Jesus instructs us not to judge by appearances, but to use righteous judgment. This serves as a reminder to look beyond superficial details and avoid making hasty judgments about Jesus' physical appearance based on limited information. Acts 10:34-35 recounts a significant moment when Peter, a Jewish apostle, meets Cornelius, a devout Gentile. This encounter leads Peter to realize that God's acceptance transcends cultural and ethnic boundaries. He declares that God welcomes anyone who reveres him and acts righteously, regardless of their background. This passage underscores that Jesus' message is for everyone and encourages us to embrace God's inclusive love and acceptance. Galatians 3:28 emphasizes unity in Christ, stating that there is no distinction between Jews and Greeks, slaves and free people, or males and females. This verse highlights that our identity in Christ unites us as one body, urging us to look beyond societal divisions and embrace our shared humanity. When considering discussions about Jesus' ethnicity, we should focus on the unity and love that Christ embodies, rather than any differences in physical appearance. John 7:24, which says, "Do not judge by appearances, but judge with right judgment," further emphasizes this point. Jesus addressed this to the crowd at the Feast of Tabernacles, urging them to base their discernment on truth and fairness, not on superficial judgments. This teaches us to value character and actions over outward appearance, and to embrace diversity while rejecting prejudice. When discussing the ethnicity of Jesus, it's important to approach the topic with an open mind, seeking truth and understanding rather than jumping to conclusions. Acts 10:34-35 says, "So Peter opened his mouth and said, 'Truly I understand that God shows no partiality, but in every nation, anyone who fears him and does what is right is acceptable to him.'" Peter shared these words during a conversation with Cornelius, a devout Gentile. This significant moment in Peter's life highlights that God's love and acceptance are not confined to any single race or set of circumstances. This verse underscores the inclusive nature of God's love for all individuals, regardless of their background. It encourages us to look beyond cultural, racial, or ethnic differences and to treat everyone with compassion and fairness. When faced with claims about Jesus' ethnicity, it's crucial to remember that his message transcends physical appearance, offering salvation and hope to all who believe in his teachings. The Book of Enoch, an ancient and intriguing manuscript, makes various declarations about Jesus' ethnicity. These claims should be examined with caution and discernment to avoid confusion or misunderstanding. The core of our faith should be the teachings, love, and grace that Jesus imparted to his followers. Given that the Bible does not provide a detailed description of Jesus' physical appearance, our priority should be the pursuit of truth and inclusiveness in our spiritual journey.